another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button below now, down below. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, I'll post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. I kind of switched the on-air button quicker, the live button quicker than I expected to. So I'm just about to sit on my bed because I think it's going to be a better signal on my bed than it is over there on near my Mac. So I'm just going to turn you around a minute and go in my normal position that I love, as you know. So I just think it's just really nice to chill out together for a bit and discuss this topic. So there we are. So in this very special video, I'm going to talk to you about how to be a boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself and be truly happy. Yes, this is a very, very strange video that I'm going to do for you now. But first, just to let you know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories. I'm also the founder of asexualised.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. So welcome to tonight's episode, and you might be thinking, oh my goodness me, have I gone completely crazy? Being a boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself, well, as you know, I can be a bit crazy and far out in a good way, of course. And there are people who actually marry themselves. So if you didn't know this already, you haven't seen the newspapers, there are people that do, in fact, marry themselves. Whilst I wouldn't recommend you have to do that, because personally, I'm not going to be doing that. Some people feel they need an act of utter devotion towards themselves. Maybe they've been through some trauma, or they're just fed up with people. Hi, Michael, with people, getting the wrong people for a relationship. So they decide to marry themselves. So there are articles that you can find in national newspapers where the person has got married to their self. And that's it. So while I'm not saying you should go out and do that, obviously that is an actual option, which some people do like to do. But how can you be a boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself and make yourself truly happy? Well, the thing is if you are a boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself, you can be truly happy because you know yourself better than anyone, you understand your needs better than anyone, and you know what makes you tick, and you can be your own best friend. However, if you have not got to know yourself very well, if you're feeling bad about yourself, then this is clearly not going to work. So actually what I'm saying here is that we need to have a really happy, healthy, loving relationship with ourselves. And we can be our own boyfriend and girlfriend to ourselves because we can self-date, and we can just self-date as in, just go for dates with ourselves and not really think anything more about it. Or we could actually think of it more in our heads as like being a boyfriend or girlfriend to ourselves, depending on what gender we're attracted to. So as I'm a heteromantic asexual, I'm only attracted to guys. So in this case, if I had, a partner, they would be a boyfriend. So I could act like a boyfriend to myself in my mind, and how I treat myself. And it might be that, I'm just naturally like that anyway a lot of the time, but you could put it in your mind, because I think it helps you when you're dating. Like if you're asexual dating, and you'll find it really, really hard to get a partner, and and you're really feeling a lot of upset and pain and heartache, and you just can't get the right person, then the best person to be is the right person for yourself. So this requires a lot of self-love, a lot of devotion to yourself. And when you put yourself in the position of being a boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself, even if it's only temporarily, you give yourself a lot more power. And so when you give yourself a lot more power, you become stronger, and therefore you don't accept second best in a potential relationship with someone else. So this video is very much about self-love and getting to know yourself, really, not just as it seems on the title. So the first step is obviously to being your own boyfriend or girlfriend is you have to get to know yourself really well. And this is a thing that's lacking in most people. Most people live in their subconscious mind. So they'll do things and they don't realise why they're doing it. They just go through the motions because obviously we're taught in life to behave a certain way. We have breakfast, we go out to a 9 to 5 job, we come home, watch some telly, go to bed. That's really like the life we're very much conditioned to be, you know. Sort of even now, you know, if you get a job that's like more artsy or working online from home, it's all seen as like, that's weird, what the heck are you doing that for? Why don't you just go to work like everyone else? You know, so there's a lot of stereotypes, a lot of things that are you know, that are basically conditioning of us to behave and become a certain way. And when that conditioning happens, we react to things rather than interact and, you know, be active. We react to things in a very passive way. And when we react in this passive way, we don't really get to understand ourselves. This is why a lot of people do suffer with depression, is because they don't like themselves, but they've never really taken the time to get to understand themselves because they've not been taught. Hey, one of the most important life skills you can master is to be conscious of yourself, to get out of your subconscious and to live in a conscious state. When you put yourself in a conscious state, you then become very aware of yourself. This goes into self-awareness. When you become self-aware, you can then work on yourself to improve yourself, develop yourself and grow yourself, and you can start getting into purpose. A lot of people are depressed because they have no life purpose. Once you start getting into purpose and know your purpose, then you will feel better. But you cannot do this unless you're living in a conscious state. So going to work and coming home and watching TV, eating food and just doing the same old routine that we're always conditioned to do is not going to do this for you. What's going to do it for you is self-reflection, which means you need to spend time with yourself, actively spending time with yourself, you know, no distractions, no kids, no parents, no relatives, in your own room by yourself. And this can be very, very painful if you don't like who you are. But that's the whole point. You need to get to like who you are. You cannot expect anyone to be a boyfriend or girlfriend or partner towards you, or even a good friend towards you, if you don't respect, love yourself and know your own needs. And this requires a great deal of self-reflection. You have to internalize, you know, what is it you really like? What is it you feel comfortable with? What is it you want from friendships? What is it you want from life? What is it you want from relationships? And so you very much have to go through the process of self-reflection and really getting to know yourself. And what's useful for this is if you actually write it down in a diary. You know, sketch it out. You know, if you're a visual person, sketch it out. You might want to sketch out, you know, like a flow chart or something, like, you know, like when I'm home, I feel this about myself. When I'm at night, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, you might want to flesh out things you like doing, like hobbies. You might want to draw a camera for photography. You might want to you know, do some artwork. You might want to just sketch something out. It's like creating a life plan and a map of where you want to go for, say, like the next year and next 5 years. But always remember to try and do it in the present as well. You know, what do you want to do for the next month? You know, map it out. If you don't like writing so much, draw it out, doodle it out, you know. So you have, you know, you begin to get a sense of who you are, what you want and what you enjoy out of life, you know. It's no good living a reactive state. When you live in a reactive state, you never find out who you are. You don't know yourself. You're a stranger. And the more you react to other people, the more you hang around with other people, and you don't spend time on your own, the more you'll be going towards their whims, their wants, their ways. And when they say something to you, it will really impact you and it will hurt and stab you like a knife. And so in order to develop healthy relationships with other people, you have to have a very healthy, loving attitude and relationship towards yourself. So this concept of, obviously I've covered before, is self-dating, is when you take yourself out, and it's very specific. It's not like just, oh, I'm in town, I'm hungry, I'm going to go for McDonald's now. That isn't self-dating. That basically means you're hungry and you've got to go for food. What I'm talking about with self-dating is you set some time aside on your calendar and say, that day I'm going for this meal at this time, I'm going to see this film. That's like half a day or a whole day set of times for me. You know, today I'm doing a movie day at home. I'm having some popcorn. I'm switching off from the outside world. I'm just having time with me. You know, so it's very much scheduled, very much on point. You know what you're doing. It's a very decisive action, not a reaction to something going on around you or your tummy rumbling. It's a very decisive action. You book time in with yourself. You don't have to sit down in front of the telly. You might decide, you might do walking a lot, but maybe you've decided that you want to go on a day trip somewhere and do some walking where you don't usually go before, normally. So you'll think, right, on my diary, I'm going to such and such a location. I'm doing X amount of walking. I'm going to spend time with myself, have a lunch out with myself, etc. So you're getting to know yourself. And when you start dating yourself more, whilst if you are looking for a relationship, I know there's a lot of aromantics who aren't, but obviously you want to get good friendships. And how you get good friendships is doing all this self-dating. Because once you realise your needs, your wants, your desires, your likes, your preferences, what makes you come alive, what makes you feel happy and good about yourself, then you'll look for friends that give you those things that you can give yourself alone. So this is where it's hugely geared towards friendship. Obviously, this channel is geared towards other people as well. So if you're looking for a relationship, you can turn it on its head a little bit more. So rather than just doing the self-dating, you can expand on that and you can decide to treat yourself like your own boyfriend or girlfriend. Because what this does for the time you are single, it empowers you and it frees you from sort of the mindset that you have to have someone else even if they're no good for you, right? And you keep clinging to them and hanging on. So recently I thought, I seem to be a lot more stronger. By the way, give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. It really helps. So basically, I thought to myself that I am a lot stronger than most guys that seem to be interested in me. These guys come along, they're just not strong enough for me. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they need. They aren't in a position to give me what I need. They're sort of bumbling around. Some of them are symbols on websites. Some of them are having double lives. Some of them not telling the truth and being open and honest. And I require all those elements that are the opposite of that of a friend, let alone a partner. But I'm just finding that I really am more like a boyfriend to myself. Like I'm protective over myself. I'm strong for myself. I'm caring for myself. And so now, lately, I've been developing the mindset that, hey, until a better guy comes along for you, you be a boyfriend to yourself, because I already have the stage where I know myself. I mean, if you're starting out on this and you want to be a temporary boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself, or a life one if you really want, it's a mindset really, rather than an actual boyfriend or girlfriend scenario, unless you want to marry yourself, like I said earlier. But it's rather a mindset. And my mindset at the moment is I'm really strong. I'm living into my masculine energy. I mean, as a society, we're taught this: guys have masculine energy, women have female energy. What they don't tell you is that every single man and woman has both masculine and female energy. Every single man and woman has masculine and feminine traits. It's how you choose to show them, or how many you choose to show them, and what you want to act on, the female side of you or the male side of you. This is the truth that no one talks about. And in my personal opinion, I've come to a conclusion lately that I think more guys should have more feminine traits, more women should have more guy traits, and they should meet in the middle. Because feminine and masculine are completely opposite to each other a lot of the time, However, is a female and a male in traditional gender senses ever gonna very often have a very successful relationship? Either one's got to be really, really like far out the other way and the other one complements it or whatever. But usually a lot of marriages end up in divorce because they're too different from each other. A guy needs to be more feminine because they need to open up their emotions more. They need to be more soft and gentle. They need to be more open and honest, transparent. This is me laying it on the line, emotional. I can feel pain, this is who I am. And guys are taught as a general not to be like that. Don't open up, don't be emotional. But do you know something? That is the way guys connect with a female, because traditionally females love through an emotional sense. Guys love more physically. So if a guy becomes more female in that way, as in he opens up to his emotions, he can get that deep emotional connection with her that will have more of a chance of sustaining a long-lasting relationship. Similarly, if women decide to be more masculine in the sense that when their partner's away from them, they're still super strong without them. They don't need a guy to make them feel validated all the time when they're not away. The guy's away, they're still strong. They can protect themselves if they go out on their own. They can look after themselves financially, And I really believe that if more guys were like women and more women like guys, and you meet in the middle, you'd have such more better relationships. Because a woman, traditionally, they want a guy to be more sensitive, more caring, more open, because it allows them to emotionally attach to them, and it allows the guy to you know, like the woman can be in their arms and the guy can come round, so their energies embrace each other. But when a guy is shut off to a woman, and when a woman's not, you know, or when a woman's not being strong in her own right because she's basically like, I can't live without him, I can't do anything myself, you know, that isn't healthy for either of them. So that's the best way to be, is a mixture of the two. Now, I'm finding in my life recently that the guys that are interested in me, they just don't step up to plate. They're just not strong enough. Seriously, any of them. You know, my two best guy friends in the UK who are not suitable for relationship, they are stronger than any guy that's been interested in me romantically. And I've got another guy friend as well. Well, no, he's not guy anymore, sorry. He's a trans person just come out. So yeah, so anyway, them at the moment, yeah, they and my two best guy friends, you know, they are strong people, you know, but my two best guy friends are outstandingly strong. They don't realise how strong they are, you know, they both have mental health difficulties, but I would say they're better prepared for a relationship than they think they are. I would say they're more stronger to be in a relationship than a lot of people who think they're strong, because they are transparent, they're open, they're honest, they're loving, they're caring, they want to spend time with their person, they want to connect on social media and not hide behind a computer screen, you know. The amount of people that are hiding behind computer screens, and I know people who are asexual get really scared, and that's why they're behind the computer screens, but please, come on, this is real life now. You don't, and you're older now, you don't have to give a shit, excuse my language, about what other people think of you. You know, why are you living your life through them? Who cares if people don't agree with your asexuality? Who cares what they say? It doesn't matter, because you are valid in your own right just by existing here on this planet. You are valid because you choose to be valid. You are valid because you ignore prats like that and you walk away from them and you block them and you ignore them and don't give them any power. They are idiots, you know? They are absolute idiots. And you don't need to be a part of it, you know? And this goes for friendships as well. And when you're looking for someone, you know, there comes a time when you just have to say enough is enough. If you're not getting very good feelings from that person, you know, like, I've had a guy recently and he doesn't even want to connect with me on Facebook. It's like, well, I'll connect with you on Facebook. And then, you know, after we've Skyped or whatever, I'll connect with you on Facebook. And they're like, well, they're now all of a sudden they don't want to, because I think they're scared because of all my, you know, I'm prolific online. It's like, I can't be doing with that. How can I be friends with someone like that? You know, I am who I am. I am prolific online. It's me. It's who I am. I'm still a trustworthy person. One of the most trustworthy people I know, you know, because I know myself really well, you know. And, you know, how can, you know, I can't be friends with someone who's scared to even connect with me on social media. There's quite a lot of people like that as well. It's not just, you know, I see it more of a reflection on them that they're insecure and that, you know, I don't know, they're leading this other life, and that's up to them, you know. I wish them all the best and all the luck and love in the world. I just can't be part of that type of thing, you know. I need a strong person. I need strong friends who want to be around me, who care about me, who love me for who I am, you know, and I need strong guy. And at the moment, I just think, Sandra, you're better off being a boyfriend to yourself. You know, you can go out on your self dates like I usually do, and the teenager side of me is all the girl, and then the guy walks me home, but in me, because, you know, the more masculine side walks me home, looks after me, looks out for trouble in town, and like if anyone comes near me, I'm prepared to, like, you know, be on my guard, as it were, and get myself safely home and just really take good care of myself, you know. So I think that's, you know, you've got to bear in mind that, you know, if you can't get a boyfriend or girlfriend, or maybe you're just fed up with looking, or fed up with the people who aren't good enough for you out there, then be a boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself, you know. Date yourself. Think of how you would take care of yourself. Think of how your best, like your ideal partner would be, and treat yourself like that. So lately, I've been thinking, you know, these guys that are not strong enough, you know, why am I even worried? If they're not strong enough for me, then I can be strong enough for myself. You know, when I sort of live into my masculine energy more, I feel more empowered. It's like, well, yeah, I don't need that in my life, you know. And you know, I need a guy who's going to prefer, you know, personally and professionally develop himself. Not because I'm into personal and professional development. Once you get into personal and professional development, right, yourself, you then notice when other people don't. It's like it's like they are who you were years ago, right? They got no self-awareness. They don't realise that the problems that they have in life a lot are to do with themselves. They're not prepared to change themselves. They don't see anything what they're doing is wrong or harming themselves long term, because they just blind to it, because like I said, they don't live in a conscious state. They live in this unconscious state. And I just can't be with a guy like that. I can't be with a guy who doesn't want to develop himself and grow himself, and who wants to stay blind to the reality of what's being created, you know? It's me, like, I could sit here, you know, every time I get a comment in my life that's not great, I could sit here going, oh, I'm worried, but it doesn't matter, does it? People, not everyone likes me. It's true. So what? If they don't like me, I don't like everyone else either. It's great, isn't it? You know, we all have our preferences, and I am acquired taste. I accept that, but that's me. I'd rather be outstanding and stand out than be shoved behind a computer, being a symbol and not being true to who I am and pretending to be something I'm not, and like foraging around in the wilderness or something, if you know what I mean, you know? I think it's much better to be super strong. So if you want to be a boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself, you have my permission if you need permission, because some people need permission to actually care about themselves, to love themselves, you know. I've been to quite a lot of personal professional development, and, you know, some people, like, they're so afraid to start their own business or try and venture in case it, like, fails, and, you know, you're going to make mistakes with things. It's kind of only natural. Oh, my heater's decided to go off on one. You can hear that in the background, I think, now. But yeah, so basically, you know, you've just got to be your own person. You've got to literally get to know yourself. I'm going to turn that off very quickly because it's just annoying, isn't it? I forgot about that. You know, so you really have to get to know yourself and be the person that you want to be for yourself, and that includes being the boyfriend or girlfriend you want to be for yourself. Because while you're waiting for Mr. Near Right to show up, no one's perfect, you know, you're missing out on all the strength you can have within you. So before I was like thinking, oh, you know, like I was thinking about all these different guys and people that come into my life, but lately I'm thinking, God, Sandra, you're so damn strong, and compared to nearly all these guys that keep coming into your life, you're actually more of the man than they are. All of them, you know. It's like, you know, there's so many people that keep coming into my life, and it's like, actually, you're just too strong for them. You need a really strong guy who knows what he wants, who's into personal and professional development, who's into business, who's into building good friendships, relationships, and who has boundaries, and who actually wants me in his life, you know. I've had friends in the past, as you know, I've mentioned it before on this channel, friends that are not really, you know, that it's all one-sided. Like, I'm more into them, I'm more into messaging them, I'm into more speaking to them than they are to me. I go out of my way for them and they don't bother. I can't be bothered with people like that, you know? They're out of my life now. I don't want to repeat. And that's the thing. When you've led a certain type of life, you know, when you have had heartache and pain, history can repeat itself if you're not careful. You have to just look it in the eye and say, I'm not having this, you know? Even if it's hurtful or painful at the time, you just have to go. And some people will come into your life that you hope they'll be right one for you, but they're just not. You know, they're completely incompatible. And it becomes unhealthy. I mean, I can just feel when it becomes unhealthy, you know. It's not good for me. And it's not good for them either, you know. I mean, I think people are fine in their own right, but it's like, you know, you cannot expect to have a long-lasting, healthy, loving, happy relationship if you are just a symbol on the internet, hiding behind your computer screen. And you're, you know, like, I can't do long-distance relationships. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many people online that are just fakes, unfortunately, or not telling the truth, or not revealing who they are, because they're leading an online life. And their online persona, not like mine, who's out to the world and quite comfortable about being who they are, you know, they're out, you know, their online persona is not the same as their actual persona in real life, you know. And I don't want that, you know. I want to know someone inside out and backwards. And I told you this before, like when I was dating the heterosexual guy 2 years ago, right? You know, for 2 months, he wouldn't even connect with me on Facebook. I mean, that is dodgy as anything. And usually when someone won't connect with you on Facebook like that, it means they've got another woman, or they want to be open to other women. That's what it actually means when they're not, you know, if they're dating you. Do you know what I mean? But if someone won't even be your friend on a thing like Facebook, and they've got it and they use it for their other friends, I mean, just don't bother with them. They're not worth it, you know. You deserve more than that. You're worth more than that. I'm worth more than that, you know. I love and care about myself implicitly, and you know, that just isn't good enough, you know. I don't want to waste my time on people that don't care about me, that don't really love me and don't really accept me for who I am, and are too scared all the time, you know. I used to be scared when I first went on the internet. Like, in 2011, I used to be like, oh my God, I don't want to go on the internet. You know, everyone will know everything about me. It's really bad. I mean, if you really don't want to go on it, don't bother going on it full stop, you know. But once you're on it, that's it. People can find out stuff about you. And I'm an open book. You can Google me and everything comes out. And you can pretty much do that with anyone, you know. But if a person's hiding their information and doesn't want you to know what they're up to on the internet, then they're obviously up to stuff that they don't want you to know about. And that is not a good basis for a relationship, you know. I need a strong guy for me, someone who knows what he wants, someone who can take care of me emotionally, someone who can be there for me when, you know, in my hour of need, someone who I know is going to be there for me even when I don't see or speak to them, someone I know who cares about me, someone I know who checks in with me. You know, I have a guy friend on ASAP and we live like miles apart, you know, but usually most days we check in with each other, like, how's your day going? Sometimes if it's over a weekend we don't because we're both busy, but you know, usually it's like, how's your work going? And it's not very long conversations, but you don't need to be having long conversations all the time. I mean, if you're getting to know someone, yeah, if you're in a relationship with someone or dating them, yeah, but I mean, and you know, you can have long conversations, but I like long conversations sometimes, but I also like short ones, you know, like to catch up with a person, you know. So my friends, you know, I just message my two best friends, I message like several times a week on Facebook Messenger just to keep up with them, and it feels so great, you know. It's like they've got your back, you've got theirs, they care about you, you're in each other's lives, you know. If one of you's feeling a bit down, you can just, you know, send them some like virtual love, and it's just a really, really healthy thing to do, you know. And it's like, you know, I've had people before and they go on Skype with me and they're like intermittent, and it's like, I just can't be doing with it, you know. If someone really cares about me, they want me in their life or they don't. It's as simple as that, to be quite honest with you. And if people aren't the same as me, that's fine. There's perfectly tons of adequate people who will be friends with them or partners with them who might want that type of life, but it's not what I want. So yeah, I think the best thing to do is if you are single and you're looking for a relationship and you can't find one at the moment, is to be your own boyfriend or girlfriend. Actually get to know yourself deep down inside and think, you know, if you like women, think, what are the qualities I like in a woman, you know? What can I give myself? Maybe you like the femininity, maybe you like the dresses, maybe you like, I don't know, I'm not into women, but maybe you like the bodies or something. So maybe you can like dress like similarly to that yourself, you know. Or like if you're a guy obviously into women, maybe you can like bring out the more feminine side of you. So you know, like if you like, you know, like a woman to cook for you, cook for yourself. If you like a woman to, I don't know, write, you know, like be like, I don't know, write poetry, you write poetry. If you like, I don't really know from the other point of view, it's very difficult for me, you know, but if you like certain things about women, like the softness and gentleness, then practice being soft and gentle with yourself more and opening up more, because it's only going to help you in a relationship, in the right relationship. In the wrong relationship or potential wrong relationship, it won't help you diddly squat, because they'll be the opposite. But then it will help you deciding if a potential relationship's right for you or not, because they will stand out like a sore thumb if they're wrong for you, which is what I'm finding more lately. I'm finding that the people that come into my life, yeah, it's hard because they're foreign and I really want a foreign guy, but it's kind of like they stand out like a sore thumb, that they're the opposite to me, that they're not good for me, they're not healthy for me, even though I like them, and they're just really, to put it in a nutshell, damn well not strong enough for me. You know, I am more of a man than any of those are, than the heterosexual guy was a couple of years ago, than the guy I had last year, you know, who was like, what, you know, it's like in between like dating me, he's like texting me like a mate. The Indian guy that I had, what was it, who was on Asexuality, you know, it's like, you know, and the person recently I met, you know, it's like I'm more stronger bloke for myself than they are, you know. I could list tons of guys, you know, there's quite a lot of guys I spoke to on the internet, they come from abroad or whatever, because I like abroad guys, because obviously they talk to me, and they're just so flaky in what they want, and they're just so like, you know, like they can't come over here. A lot of them just lie and they want marriage for visa, as you know. But you know, the ones I speak to in this country, if there are any foreign ones, they don't want to make the effort to travel. They're like, it's like you're really desperate to find someone, you really want a partner, yet you're not even prepared to travel, you're in the same country as me. It's like, what the heck's going on with that? You know, and they'll sit there saying the same thing. Oh, I keep attracting sexuals. I don't get anywhere. And it's like, well, there's lots of asexual people all around you in tons of groups. It requires you getting off your backside and actually going to get a train or a bus to go and see someone, or at least asking them if they can come to you, or getting a Skype conversation with them. It requires work. People work, you know, and when work calls, people don't like it, but you have to make an effort. But if you start making an effort with yourself more, if you start getting to know yourself, your needs, your likes, your wants, your dislikes, and you start fulfilling your own needs more, once you start fulfilling your own needs more, you know, you'll know what a type of thing to expect more in a relationship. And once you know what type of things more to expect and accept in a relationship, the more you'll get better quality people come your way. Or when you get the wrong quality people come your way for you, you can say, no, thank you. I really appreciate your interest in me. You're probably lovely for another person, but you're damn well not right for me. But you don't have to say damn well, but you know they're damn well not right for you. You can just say, sorry, you're not the right person for me, and part ways, because there's nothing worse than wasting your time in life, you know. I get private message so much about different things to do with asexuality. I have good friends. I don't need to waste my time with people who can't be bothered with me, you know, who give me time when they feel like it, and who want to hide away from me being connected. I've had other people like, there was a guy on meetup.com a long time ago, I think I told you about him. He was biromantic, and he wouldn't connect with me on Facebook. He just wanted to keep me and him talking secretly on meetup, yet he was talking about my groups, like he was in my groups, and that was a bit weird, you know. It's like, I liked a guy quite a bit, but it was like, you've obviously seen me in my groups, you obviously know about them, are you in my groups? And I don't even know they were on Facebook, you know. It's a bit like weird. It's like, well, you're in my groups by the sound of it, or you certainly know of them. You certainly sound like you know of me on Facebook because you're talking about stuff I do on there, yet we're not connected on Facebook, and I don't know who the heck you are on there because I couldn't find you. So, you know, that sort of stuff is a bit weird, you know. It's like, well, I'm not going to spend hours and months and weeks, forever and a day, just talking on Skype and never getting to see someone. Or I know maybe some people are cool with that. I mean, obviously, if people are in foreign countries, then it's a bit different, like across the globe. You can have pen pals and stuff like that. But if you're talking about real, sustainable, long-term committed friendships, which is what I'm looking for, or a relationship, you know, that isn't going to suffice, is it, after some time? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I have got one guy I speak to on Skype, and we don't hardly see each other, but occasionally we do, you know, like once in a blue moon. He lives in the UK, and it's only because me and him like live quite a long way apart, and we're, you know, like we're friends, and good friends in the sense we've known each other for a while, but not in the sense that we spend much time like being close friends, if you know what I mean, chatting a lot, you know. But he lives in the UK, and you know, if me and him were ever in our own city, then we would meet up. But other than that, you know, it's not a close friendship, if you know what I mean. But we're close enough to know the other person quite well because we've known each other quite a long time. So I'm not saying that, you know, online relationships are invalid, because they're really, really not. And it's really important to have them. But make sure that the person that you're talking to online is actually sharing their life with you, you know. Like some people who are having online relationships, which I know asexuals are having online relationships with other asexuals, some of them are fine, you know, if they want a long distance relationship, because they are like sharing their day, their life, their world, they're connected, they're into each other, they're, you know, they're faithful to each other, they're very much planning for the future to move, because that's what you have to do if you're going to be in a relationship. You can't stay on an online relationship forever, you know. They probably FaceTime a lot, I think, speak on the phone a lot, so you kind of know that they're into you a lot, you know. They're connected together on social media, they're just like into each other's lives a lot, you know. So, you know, it's perfectly fine to have online friendships and relationships, but, you know, when it comes down to a serious, committed, lifelong relationship, you have to be thinking, or, you know, serious, healthy friendships, you have to be thinking of your needs. And, you know, if a person's scared to connect with you on some social media when they're fine to connect with anyone and everyone else on there, then something's, you know, very, very wrong, you know. And I've had some guys before, and they'll come on, you know, and they'll start messaging me. I had a guy years ago, right? And he had a girlfriend. He was messaging me, and the girl at first didn't believe me, and I screenshot him what he said to her so she could see it. She was shocked, you know. And he's saying to me that he likes an older woman, yet he's saying to her, oh, why would I fancy her? She's much older than me. And it's like, and that I showed her the screenshot, and she was disgusted, you know. So you got to be so careful with people online that you don't know. And if people are not prepared to be their true authentic self and really love you for who you are and care about you, and be the strong person you need in that relationship and fulfill your needs or get close to them as possible, they're not worth it. Just be your own boyfriend or own girlfriend to yourself. Be super strong, you know? Be the change that you want to see in yourself, you know? Whatever you want coming into your life, stop being that for yourself. You know, you will know then for certain if someone comes into your life, they don't match up to what you're giving yourself, that they're no good for you. You know, they're not right for you. You know, I know how strong I am with myself. I know I love myself. I take really good care of myself, both financially, emotionally, physically, you know. You can do physical stuff for you. You can kiss yourself, touch yourself, do whatever you want with yourself. You don't have to be in a relationship to do that. Obviously, there's certain things you can only really do in a relationship. But, you can look after yourself emotionally, financially, spiritually, mentally, everything, And if you've got good friends around you already and you've got people who care about you in your life, it does make it a lot easier for you. But just remember, be a best friend to yourself no matter what. If you only want friendship with yourself, be the bestest ever friend. Get to know yourself well, your needs, your likes, your wants, your dislikes. And then by being sort of thinking, it's like acting, right? I used to be told when I was at school that I'd be really good in acting school, but I never went because I was too shy then. And acting is all about putting yourself in the head of the other person, the character. So if you think about what you'd like an ideal boyfriend or girlfriend to be, you literally just think about acting that in your head. Like thinking about, if I was a boyfriend or girlfriend to myself right now, how would I act? What's the best thing that I could do for myself? How would I respond? How would I be strong with myself? How would I make myself feel secure? And once you get into that mindset, you kind of become the boyfriend or girlfriend you really are looking for and need to be. Obviously, it's going to be harder for another person to come into your life and meet up to your expectations because you're going to be so good at doing it yourself, right? But it's good because it empowers you. It makes you stronger, like your own superhero. It's important to do this, So literally, I think lately, I think basically, all right, be a boyfriend to yourself now, Sana. What would a boyfriend do that you'd like? I'm thinking, well, in the street, I'd like to feel protected, I've always done this anyway, but it's kind of, I'm more conscious of it lately. So I'm thinking, right, okay, so you're like the girl when you go to the cinema, you're all excitable, like a kid, and then when you come out of the cinema, when you walk yourself home, that's more of a kind of like guy protection thing, isn't it? And I'm thinking that's fabulous. It's a bit more masculine energy, I think. And it's like, because I have to think a bit more aggressively in the sense that if anyone comes near me, I've got to be on my guard to protect myself, right? And so, when I'm in the cinema, I can be all cute, cuddly and warm. And when I'm out, it's a bit more like adult world, isn't it? And you have to protect yourself. And so, you can do this in many different aspects of your life. You can be the person that you'd like to see in a relationship and even a friendship. You can be your bestest ever and think, what would I like as a friendship? It's like kind of like you're your own imaginary best friend or boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself, but you're actually living it every day, if you know what I mean. It's a very strange concept that I just came across recently that I kind of figured out myself. And because obviously some people do marry themselves, so this concept must already kind of exist anyway. And I think there's elements of it obviously with self-dating as well. But I think when you really think about the characteristics of your ideal partner or ideal friend, obviously, then you can start living out that and just enjoy yourself. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. And don't forget, as always, I would love to hear your comments, your feedback on what it's like if you're going to be a boyfriend or girlfriend to yourself or your bestest friend. And let me know how you get on with it, how it works for you, writing out all the stuff about yourself, your likes, needs, wants, dislikes, spending quality time with yourself, going out on dates with yourself, and actually being the guy or girl that you need in your life right now. Let me know if you feel empowered by it, inspired by it, or if you feel deflated by it. Let me know if you feel good about it, it makes you feel great, or if you feel like this is weird, it's not working for me. I'd love to get your feedback on this. Let's get some discussion going down below in the comments. And also, what do you think of women becoming more masculine, men becoming more feminine and meet in the middle? Do you think that'd be a really ideal scenario for a more healthy, lasting, loving relationship between the two people? And then they can, it will lower the divorce rates hopefully as well. What do you think? I'd love to hear your views as always. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next live stream. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that bell icon like I just said, so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. Don't forget to embrace your quirky as always and live your purpose, dreams, and be quirky.